Come on, Lady Day, tell us that story again.
All right now, Prez. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Mr. Lester Young. We call him Prez, short for the title of the most important man in the country, the President. He used to call Mom Duchess, me Lady Day, and that's how the royal family began. I'll never forget the first time I sang Traveling All Alone. Surely was the way I felt that day. Made me change my name. It was the beginning of changing my whole life. Oh, I'll never forget that day. It was cold, icy, bitter cold. New York City, 1930. Mom and I were living together, finally, in a walk-up. We were due to be set out on the street the next day. And Mom, she was so sick, she couldn't even walk. So I went out. I hit 133rd Street in Harlem. Every swinging joint and after-hours club I could. I was determined. I was going to beg, borrow, or steal before I let them get away with putting us on the street in the dead of winter. I must have walked all day. I finally ended up at Pod and Jerry's at 133rd and 52nd, trying to get a job as a dancer. And I couldn't dance a lick. They had just about laughed me out of there when one of the owners, Jerry, came over. I wish you could have seen this look he had on his face. I guess he felt kind of sorry for me. He said, "Hey, girl, can you sing?" Well, any grandchild of a slave could sing. I was 15 years old. I loved singing and music. Had no problem saying so. Well, I used to sneak into the hoe houses in Baltimore just so I could hear Louis Armstrong and Bessie Smith. Pop Holiday, my daddy, he ran off with McKinney's Cotton Pickers when I was 5. He was a heck of a guitar player. Leaving alone Sadie and her Eleonora, that's me, struggling ever since. And that's all I knew of the music business. So I started singing. And all of a sudden, everybody got real quiet. And when I finished, they started throwing money on the floor. So I sang some more. I sang all night long. And when I got finished, I picked up all the money, split it with the piano man, and still had 57 bucks. Now that was enough to buy Mom some of her favorite, fried chicken and baked beans, and still have money to pay the rent. Then Jerry comes over and he says,
would you like a job singing in my place? I pay you $18 a week. You'd be up from midnight to 3. And what'd you say your name was again?
Somehow, Eleanor Fagan just didn't seem right. I remember how Pop used to call me Bill when I was little because I was such a tomboy. I used to sneak into the movie houses and see my favorite actress, Billie Dub. Mom and Pop weren't married till 3 years after I was born. I never got a chance to have Pop's name. I thought, why not? Billie. My name is Billie Holiday, I said, and nothing has been the same since. All of a sudden, I'm singing in places all over town. This one guy really liked my singing. His name was John Hammonds. He was a record producer for Columbia Records. Set up my first recording date with a swinging white cat who was a studio musician at the time. His name was Benny Goodman. I remembered first time I came in there, they wanted me to sing into the mic. I was scared to death. They didn't have no sound systems in the speakeasies and the nightclubs. I didn't know nothing about no microphone. I just wanted to sing. Somebody started saying that I was chicken. So I went on and I finished that record. After I got through with that, I got a chance to perform with some of the best big bands around. But it was still a lot harder than most folks think. The places where I performed, I had to come in the back door. I remember one time at the Lincoln Hotel, I was the headliner with Artie Shaw. They told me I had to ride the freight elevator. They said that when their guests saw a colored girl on the elevator, it made them uncomfortable. Well, I quit that gig. But I remember one time, it was the Fox Theater in Detroit. I was appearing with Count Basie and his orchestra. It was during rehearsal. The owner came up and said, the lights over the stage made me look too light-skinned. Said people was going to think I was a white singer with a colored band. So to keep the gig, I had to wear blackface makeup, like they wear in the minstrel shows. Otherwise, everybody would have lost the job. Oh, you just don't know. Things are a lot harder than most folk think as far as glamour of making records, of being a star. A lot of times we'd be calling to the studio, we'd get 30 bucks for half a dozen sides. Teddy Wilson, Buck Clayton, Freddie Green. We come in, no words, no arrangements, no nothing. They might say, try the blues in A-flat, Billy, take it as far as you can go. And that was it. No royalties. Nothing like that. But the real thing for the musicians and the music was the jam sessions. All the recording sessions, you just got paid for the session and that was it. But the jam sessions, that's where we could all really stretch out. Yeah, I remember the first time I met Lester. It was at one of those jam sessions. At the time, Chu Berry. Nobody thought that there was anybody who could outblow Chu Berry on the saxophone. He was the happening cat. And in walks Lester. Had a little old saxophone held together with tape and rubber bands. Everybody's kind of laughing, just wondering what did he think he was going to do with that. Lester picked up that ragged little old saxophone and blew Chu Berry right out of the place. It wasn't long after that he came to stay with Mom and me. Started calling Mom Duchess and me Lady Day. Yeah, I tell you, things were just a lot harder than most folks thought they were. But after I had gotten some of the recording dates, I had some nice gigs. One of the gigs was at Cafe Society, and people just started to bring me songs. Good Morning Heartache was one of them. I remember one night at Cafe Society, a guy came in, brought me a little poem he had written. He said he wanted me to sing it. And I read it, and it moved me real deep. So I took it to the piano man, and we worked something out. We performed it right there on the spot. Now people are always asking me to sing Strange Fruit. But they don't know how it moves me and how I hurt inside, remembering and thinking about things. It's the way I feel about music. Music it's the mood of the moment. It's the way you feel right now. I can't do a song the same way 2 times, twice in a row, let alone 2 or 10 years, same way, the same time. That's exercise or yodeling or something, but it ain't music in my book. No, music has got to be right what's going on with the feeling of the moment. I remember another time. Young cat came into the club, had a poem and brought it straight to me, right before he got shipped overseas to the war. Never heard from him again, and all's we can figure is he's dead. But he said his name was Jimmy Davis, and he gave me this poem, and I really liked it. It almost would sing itself. So I had it, and I did it in all my nightclub acts, and one night somebody said, "Billy, you better record that tune before somebody tries and takes it from you." Well, I certainly didn't like that idea. So I took it over to Milt Gabler at Decca Records. I figured I was in solid with Milt ever since we had done Strange Fruit. I told him, "Milt, this is a special song. I want something more than just the 6 pieces behind me. I want strings." Well, you thought I would have asked the man for the moon or his right arm. He threw a fit. So I threw one right back at him. I said, "Look, I know what I'm doing here. I want strings on this song. It's special. So I guess if you can't do it, I just might have to take it somewhere else, so long as it's done right." So Milt got to thinking about it. We got with Ram Ramirez, and he came up with the arrangement, ended up getting all the credit for the tune. And finally, after all my fussing and fighting, I got those strings. Turned out later on, no Negro singer had ever had no strings on them, behind them on a record. So I'd like to perform that tune for you right now, ladies and gentlemen, and dedicate it to Jimmy Davis, just one of the many lives lost but not forgotten in the war. The song is entitled "Love a Man." I don't know why, but I'm feeling so sad. I long to try something I've never had no kissing. Oh, what I've been missing.
night is cold and I'm so all alone, I'd give my soul just to call you my own. Got a moon above me, but I've got no one to love me. Love a man, oh, where can you be? I've heard it said that the thrill of romance can be like a heavenly dream. And I go to bed with a prayer that you will make love to me. Strange as it seems, one day we'll meet and you'll dry all my tears, and then you'll whisper sweet little things in my ear, and kissing. Oh, what we've been missing. Love a man, oh, where can you be? I've heard it said that the thrill of romance can be like a heavenly dream. And I go to bed with the prayer that you will make love to me. Oh, my baby, well, now strange as it seems, one day we'll meet